PlotWorks is a print management solution which, at its most basic level, provides fast and efficient batch printing capabilities. If you're just printing a page or two, an error during job setup won't cost you much in terms of time or consumables. But when batch printing, you want to know exactly how the job is going to print before you press the print button. And that's where the concept of visual job preparation comes into play. PlotWorks also provides advanced queue management capabilities, including things like reprinting previous jobs, prioritizing pending jobs, or interrupting a low priority job in favor of a high priority job. This is a vendor neutral solution supporting devices from all major manufacturers, both large format and small format, and again both color and monochrome. In a nutshell, PlotWorks maximizes production efficiency. PlotWorks is typically deployed in mid to high volume environments or any time that there's a high degree of variability. Variability in terms of the file types that you work with, page sizes, orientations, or scale factors. Examples of this would include reprographics companies, central print rooms within architectural, engineering, construction, or manufacturing companies, and wherever automation or integration is required. Perhaps you wish to integrate with an online plan room or a document management system. Finally, PlotWorks should be considered whenever a managed workflow is required. The software has a client-server architecture. We use the terms client and server not to denote a specific hardware class, but instead to differentiate between job preparation and job management. The PlotWorks client is installed throughout the facility, and that's where users will prepare and submit their jobs to the PlotWorks server. The PlotWorks server is typically just a workstation class PC running anything from Windows XP Service Pack 2 through Windows 10. You could also use a Windows Server license if you care to. The PlotWorks server does the heavy lifting. It's what's rasterizing or ripping each image and then sending that data over to the printer. Now you'll note that the communication with the printer here is bidirectional. So not only are we sending data to the printer, but we're constantly asking the printer about its status. That way we can recover in the event of an out of paper condition, or if it rolls over from roll 1 to roll 2, we constantly know how much paper is left on a roll, what roll sizes are loaded, whether there's a toner low or a toner out condition. PlotWorks supports a variety of file formats including PDF, PostScript, DWF and DWFX, TIFF, the various HPGL derivatives, CALS Type 1, as well as CalComp 906 and 907. Let's take a few moments now to see how it works. Job preparation is fast and simple with the integrated viewer, as you'll see in this example. I have a multi-page PDF file where all of the pages are 30 by 42, but I have mixed orientation. I would like to print this job as a half-size set, meaning scale it to 50%, and that would place it on a 21 by 15 inch piece of paper. But in this case I want to use a larger piece of paper. I want to place all of the images on a 24 by 18, and I want to give myself a pretty good margin on the left-hand side when I'm all done. So let's get started. The first step is to get everything in the same orientation. So I could select this first sheet and then do a 90-degree rotation, select sheet number 8 and sheet number 9, do the same thing. That's a waste of time. We've got a built-in feature, digital jogging, which with a single mouse click allows us to get all of the sheets in the job in the same orientation. I'll just visually scan through each sheet to make sure that the title blocks are all on the right-hand side, and now we're ready to scale. So let's select all, Control A with a keyboard shortcut, real fast, and then change our scale factor here from 100% to a 50% reduction. And now we've got all of our images on 21 by 15 inch paper. But remember, we wanted to place this on a larger paper size. So let's select our 24 by 18 from the list, and let's start by centering everything. So that looks good. Now let's work with the alignment. Remember, we wanted to have a slightly larger margin on the left-hand side. So choose my move option here, and let's slide the image over on the paper. That looks about right. And now let's copy this alignment, these values right here, to all of the other sheets in the job. Again, another keyboard shortcut, Control-R, and let's take a look at the final result. All the pages centered up and down, pushed to the right, so I've got a nice binding margin on the left if I want to staple these all together. At this point, we're ready to print. So I'll press the print icon, select which printer I would like to send the job to, specify the number of sets, and press OK. Although PlotWorks is commonly associated with large format printing, we can also send jobs to any small format device, either color or monochrome. So in this example, I've got a multi-page DWF file, and I want to print this on 8.5 by 11, so I'm going to need to do a scale to fit and then send that job over to a small format printer. So first step here is to select all the images, just like we did in the last example, Control-A, and instead of changing the scale factor here, I'm going to change the media size. So we're going to set this all to 8.5 by 11, and then for scale factor, choose Fit to Page. Job looks good. Let's go ahead and send this over to our small format device. Select it from the drop-down list, specify the number of sets that we want, and press OK. We can also use PlotWorks to apply labels, watermarks, or overlays to one or more sheets in a job. In this example, let's place a date and timestamp on every page, and we'll place it on the left-hand side. So I'm going to start off by just working with the first sheet. And in our properties, we have a label section here. Instead of typing in static text, in this case, I want to use a macro that will be evaluated at print time. So let's use the date and then time macro. And now let's position that label on the page. So in our toolbar, we can toggle on our label viewing. You can see down here just barely in the lower left, I've got my label. So let's drag that up here, center it up and down. That looks good. And now let's copy not only the label text itself, but the rotation and positioning to all the other sheets in the job. Again, that's a keyboard shortcut, Control-R. And now let's just advance from sheet to sheet in the job to make sure that that label is consistent. And remember, in this case, that label is going to be evaluated at print time. It's just showing you an example here on the screen. Okay, this looks good. Let's output the job, select our printer, the number of sets, and press OK. Let's talk about job management for a moment. The PlotWorks job queue allows you to reprint previous jobs, prioritize pending jobs, and interrupt one job in favor of another. For example, job number 6, the currently highlighted job, I can see from the activity column that it is currently printing. The job size column shows me that we are currently on set 5 of 15, image 30 of 68. So this is a large job. It's going to take a while to print. But it looks like up at the top, job number 11, we got a small job where somebody is waiting for it. They're at the counter waiting for this job. So I don't want to make them wait. I would rather just select job number 11 and say print that now. Now I'm getting a warning here. It's saying, hey, you're going to interrupt the currently printing job. Do you really want to do that? Yes. So at this point, job number 6 is effectively put on hold. Job number 11 begins printing. And then as soon as those 4 sheets have exited the printer, job number 6 is going to start printing again exactly where it left off. This concludes our application overview. Thanks for watching.